Hello everyone, this is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary, here with another timeless channeled message tarot quest. Welcome back and welcome to everyone new. Thank you for the new subscribers. I appreciate everyone. Today is the day after the blood moon lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces. It's a time to release. We're going to hop right into this reading today. This is an intentional black screen ASMR tarot quest. I usually have music in the background, but today I decided to record on my back deck. It is an absolutely beautiful day on the mountain. 70s, cool breeze, birds are singing, ravens are hanging out. So why not? Why not? Ooh, someone has a lot to say about confidence. One sec, I gotta get my cards and gratitude. Confidence, gratitude, happiness, intuition. Abundance upside down. I'm reading the Cosmic Energy Oracle cards. Well, full moons are a great time for releasing, and in the last channeled message we talked about, I'm also a professional astrologer by the way, we talked about the Pisces North Node with the collective energies and what we're leaving behind with the Virgo South Node. If you'd like to know more about that, check out the last channeled message. I will link it at the end of this video and in the description box. I also leave a nice little description of the reading in the description box, along with all the links to book with me, collaborate with me, write to me. Anyways, I've also got donations links in there if you're feeling generous. I do appreciate everyone who contributes to the channel. Alrighty, so with these cards, and we're talking about release, right? And eclipses typically last 6 months in energy. So it will take us to the Pisces new moon next year. And I wasn't sure on the date last time, and I haven't looked at the exact date, but it's actually near the end of Pisces season. So like the 2nd or 3rd week of March. This energy, we're going to be really taking out the old and bringing in the new, especially with Saturn retrograding back into Pisces recently, right? It's the last time. I talked about this in the August Astro Highlights and Luna Notes. If you want to learn more, check out my monthly astrology videos. I announced in another reading that I'm putting that service on hold until I integrate it into my Patreon community. So that's in progress, in case you were wondering. So Saturn went into Aries for the first time in a few years. Well, more than a few years. There are Canadian geese flying by right now, which is not always very common out here, so that could be a synchronicity for somebody. I'm a psychic medium empath as well, so I note synchronicities, signs, angel numbers. If anything calls to you, just means pay closer attention to the message. And depending on the quality of the recording, I hope you enjoy the sounds of nature. I actually released an ASMR last week. We had a random thunderstorm. So if you're curious, have fun exploring the channel. These readings tend to last anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours, so that's why I call them a tarot quest. Perhaps I'll put a timestamp in the description box. I just felt like the energy just really slowed down all of a sudden. I was ready to go when I started this message. So let's talk about gratitude, intuition, cleansing, confidence, resilience, happiness, and release. We were talking about Saturn and Aries and how for the very last time it went back into Pisces with this retrograde. This is the last time it'll be in Pisces for this cycle that we have been closing out. And it's interesting that we're coming into new energy as the collective with the Pisces North Node. What we're moving forward, the last channeled message I talked about, I believe, which is the Pisces mantra, right? We're all talking about, regardless of exactly what your faith is, having faith. And I've said this before, despite what your faith is, the one thing we all have in common is faith. Regardless of what source means to whoever you are. And source could be many, and source could be one, source can be all. So it's like we're kind of looking at the shadow side of Pisces one last time with Saturn, Father Time, Kronos, the father figure of the zodiac. Rules Capricorn, old world ruler is also Aquarius. But Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, modern day, and Uranus is actually in Gemini for the first time this year, in the last summer, and it's going to stay there till 8 years from now. And Uranus is unexpected change, and we talked about unexpected change in the last reading as well. I make shorter form versions of these long form reads, so if you prefer shorter style, you're welcome to save this to your watch later and take it in increments, or you can just wait till I release the shorter form, anywhere from a few days to up to a week after the original release. So, do what you're called to do, obviously. I'm just letting source channel through me right now and kind of see what comes through, and then we'll get to the cards, okay? I know some of you like that I occasionally do video style, but today I just felt like it was necessary to just get the message out and not fuss with all the production. So here we are. What does happiness mean to you? What makes you feel confident about yourself? What are you grateful for in your life? Do you have cleansing practices or ways to purify yourself? Do you trust your intuition? And what does resilience mean to you? What do you need to release? Here with the release card, release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. It's interesting, every single one of these things that are seen as positive oracle cards could be also somebody's burden. The seeking of something, of seeking happiness, seeking confidence, wishing you could trust your intuition, wishing you were more resilient, wishing you had a spiritual practice, a form of cleansing and purifying and grounding yourself. Perhaps your burden is gratitude because you often find yourself envious of other people. These things can be oppressive or they can be supportive. We talk about mind states a lot on this channel in this sacred spiritual community. So sometimes burdens are Some people would say they're challenges. Obviously, I'm seeing the Ten of Wands in my mind's eye. Anyways, we're going to set those to the side. I think we're looking at the duality, the shadow side of Pisces. This is the last time to purge out illusions, delusions, and unclear intentions. Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which rules all those things. It also rules your connection to spirit. It rules belief, which that's something to think about, is how have you created burdens and blocks for yourself by not incorporating a spiritual aspect to your life? For those of you that are curious about spirituality, but perhaps you don't make it something important, yet you feel like there's something missing in your life. Just pulled the Queen of Wands card. I guess I'm working with the Luna Editions Tarot, Ethereal Visions now. Got a few different decks I'm working with. Queen of Wands. Some of you know your power, and you are very capable of having a spiritual practice. You inspire other people to do the same. Queen of Wands is a very magnetic figure, very magical creature. Someone who shines brightly and is very warm and loving, receptive yet also active. There's definitely a more masculine element to the fire and air elements, which are both the masculine signs. Elements that rule the signs, like for example, Leo is a sun, Aquarius is air, so fire and air, right? Those are both masculine energies. And oftentimes, especially if you follow tarot, you know that we're speaking on energies, just like zodiac signs. Not speaking about specific people, but if it rings true and it sounds like somebody you're thinking of, follow your intuition. Intuition came up here as an oracle card, right? Four of Swords. Meditation, rest after a very difficult time. Some of you are resting. This is a collective message, so it's going to apply to multiple people in groups in the collective. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Learning from the past. Integrating wisdom. Eight of Swords, about ways that you were stuck mentally in a self-imposed prison. I'm getting very Queen of Swords vibes, even though this is the Queen of Wands. Then I pulled the Knight of Wands. Interesting. I do call out every card for y'all so you don't miss anything. Knight of Wands. Well, the Knight of Wands is very resilient. They just keep getting up and charging forward. They go after what they want. Sometimes they can be a little impulsive, but usually it's done with purpose. Whether that purpose is good or bad is up to the Knight, right? Depends on their personal mission, whatever that means. Their intentions, their motives, right? And that's a fiery Knight. It's a spicy Knight, you know? Sometimes those intentions are a little reckless. But sometimes that's exactly what two consenting parties want. If we're talking about this Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands, that's a fiery match. I'm picking up on a little side message of love here. There's some kind of passion brewing between someone and another, though you're both not quite on the same level yet. There's something that makes you different. It could be something as simple as this Knight is a little bit younger than the Queen. It could be that simple, or it could be a difference in spiritual journey and rank, what you've gone through, what your experience, what your maturity is, right? What is this about? Ten of Cups. So it's definitely about wish fulfillment with another person for some of you. I guess we're going to lighten the mood here and do a little love reading. We'll see where this goes. It'll probably dip in and out of the spirituals, so, you know, this is a journey. This is a quest. Let's see what comes out for everyone. Yeah? Cool. Ten of Cups. So, some of you, whether you are the Knight or the Queen, I'm going to read the energy as it presents with the cards, so masculine or feminine, but remember that we all embody all of these energies, right? So, tell me a little more, Spirit, about this dynamic. Tell me a little about this Queen of Wands who's resting and overcoming limited mindsets. What do we have to say? The Page of Wands. Very passionate, learning something new about life, or being on a new beginning, a new quest, a new journey. This can also be somebody who might be thinking of literal travel. And I mean, the Knight of Wands, they're the next level up from the Page of Wands, but under the Queen of Wands again. So there is more commonality if we're talking about the dynamic between these two figures. There's that adventurous nature between them. What is this Knight of Wands? Ooh, Ten of Wands. The Knight of Wands, we were talking about burdens earlier. Perhaps this Knight of Wands put their burdens down and is able to move a little bit quicker now. We also have the synchronicity 1010. That number's been coming up in a lot of my readings recently. You may want to check out the reading, I want to say it was 2 or 3 before this one, called Angel of Completion, 10, 10, 10, 10. We got all 10s on the table that reading. I believe it was that one. You can check out my Divine With Me playlist. It's for all timeless tarot and oracle messages. Okay. Well, it seems like you both are coming from sort of a similar energy where you both have something you are putting down for a new beginning. And I'm not necessarily saying it's with each other, I'm just saying a new beginning in general, right? You both are in this quick energy. But the Queen of Wands seems a little more settled, a little more subdued, a little more focused on the inner work. What is this Knight of Wands focused on? The Queen of Pentacles. Nurturing stability, or integrating more grounding, more independence, more comfort, being at ease with a slower way of living, perhaps, I'm getting. So it's possible this Knight of Wands has gone forward quite quickly a lot of the times, and they're learning to pace themselves, so to speak. Because the Queen of Pentacles is a very grounded, stable, nurturing, life partner kind of vibe. The Queen and King of Pentacles typically represent the married couples that are like monogamous life partners. Doesn't have to be married, it could just be life partnership. But typically in the tarot, that's what that represents. Wow, I just pulled the Emperor. Interesting. What about this Emperor? Death. Wow. Tell me more about what this has to do with the Knight of Wands and their, we'll say, steadier pace of life they're choosing to pursue. Ace of Swords, the truth. Interesting. Clarity. Some kind of clarity here. Something, maybe this this way of life was able to help you perceive life in a different way, and this was a great change for you, and it's possible you actually are now the Emperor. Let's get some clarification on that, Spirit. The Chariot. You are victorious, you are successful, and you are on your way to something. You are in balance, so you very likely could be an Emperor now, but you are in Knight of Wands action. Interesting. But you're doing it in a way that is more receptive, more grounded. Something you want to speak on about this? What do we have here? The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, that you are most likely a single and very independent person who nurtures their environment, who looks after things and enjoys the simpler things in life, but also somebody who enjoys comforts in life, just like the Queen of Pentacles, which is associated with the Nine of Pentacles. And these cards are the less evolved version of the Empress, and the Empress is the Emperor's match. King of Wands. Just got, for some of you, you really want to protect something. Two of Cups, this love. Two of Cups is the ultimate spiritual union. Can also be a deep, long-lasting friendship. So it seems that you very much know what you want. I feel like this reading is almost more for this Emperor / Knight of Wands, King of Wands. Interesting. You have the, and Queen of Pentacles, you have the ability to move quickly in a youthful like energy, like you have that spice, that zest, that go-getter attitude, but you've matured. You've learned how to use your power more wisely, direct it, manifest. So you can kind of be whatever you need to be when you need to be. And now you're like grounding that into reality, I'm picking up. And it's made you ready for this kind of engagement, this kind of connection. Two of Cups can also represent union with the self, with both masculine and feminine principles and energies, which would make you a divine masculine, especially with the Emperor here. Four of Cups. You didn't see this coming. In fact, you look like in this card, it's a very deep, contemplative person sitting with their back to the tree. There's this like divine blessing that you didn't see coming because you were really focused, it seems, on the spiritual work I'm picking up for you. Five of Cups. Perhaps you regret that you didn't see it when it first appeared to you. Clarify, Spirit. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, you know the value of this connection now for sure. That is the wealthiest, most valuable legacy, family. It's like something you can build upon. It is the strongest foundation. the kind of sustainability that can last generations. And it doesn't have to be financial, but it is very much so. It's also spiritual. It's that heaven on earth. We have the 10 of cups here too. We have 10, 10, 10 now. Right. Tell me more about this 10 of wands, this burden that you were carrying. Is this part of it? 5 of pentacles. A lack mentality, perhaps, or some health issues, some kind of delay with your finances. That could have been a burden for you any which way. And again, if these things are not happening to you, this is not a predictive message. I do tap into multiple timelines, but I clarify if it's predictive, like if it's a channel, right? This is more the tarot versus a channel. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Perhaps this burden, this lack is what allowed you to like ground yourself into reality and realize what was really valuable to you. Seven of Swords. Ten of Swords. Not being betrayed, not dealing with these people who don't know how to follow through, who don't show up, who take what they can from you and just disappear and leave you hanging and feeling like crap. Because this is betrayal and ghosting right here. Temperance. Wow. Yeah. You've established a great balance within yourself. You have a very peaceful, harmonious nature, and perhaps people used to take advantage of you, but now they can't because you are in a position of power with the Emperor and the King of Wands. You also can adapt to change. You are resilient. This resilience oracle card here, let's see here. Resilience is your source of strength in challenges, and the King of Wands can represent Leo, the sun, strength, courage, clarity. Let's see, we also have, we have the confidence oracle card we pulled out. Believe in your worth and abilities. So it seems like you've realized this now. You've been working on stabilizing your energy, getting closer to source. For some of you, it's possible that you have realized that you are the archetype of an earth angel, somebody who is very healing and can exist between multiple realms at once. As above, so below, right? As within, so without. Ace of Pentacles, you have a lot to offer here. You have also a divine blessing from Spirit, a very prosperous, fortuitous start here. This is a gift. I'm not saying you're going to receive a gift, though some of you may receive your blessings. It's a blessing of some kind of stability. It's most likely tangible. Do you know that you have this gift? I feel like you're paying attention to your blessings now. Maybe you weren't before for whatever reason. I mean, we can get stuck in monotony sometimes and drift. It happens. You know, as long as you can forgive yourself, you can move forward and be, again, with gratitude. We pulled the gratitude card, right? Being grateful allows you to see your blessings more often than not. Do you know about this? Six of Swords. Yeah, this is your safe passage. Whatever this is, this blessing, this tangible blessing. It's creating a way for you to travel and maneuver away from something that used to mess with your peace and your balance. I want to know more about this Queen of Wands because I feel like that's going in another direction. If we loop back to this, we loop back. If not, but I'm feeling pulled to the Queen of Wands. I want to know. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands and why they are resting and overcoming mental. Oh wow, 2 cards just fell. The Empress and the Well. That's what the Queen of Wands is about. No wonder you know your blessing. Wow. Wow. That is divine feminine AF. Let me tell you. It doesn't get much more like goddess like than that. Let me tell you. That is, whew, yeah, that's something worth fighting for sure. I can see why this Emperor is actually a Knight of Wands energy. It seems like you are very hasty to see what's going on over here with your divine counterpart, because that sure seems what we are reading on now with the Emperor and the Empress. And the Well, we talked about the Well in our last reading, so this is very similar energy. It could be a continuation of the last message. Definitely check it out if you are interested. Okay, well, the Well is, I was saying before, it's the Empress 2.0. It is creation itself. It's also like the I am, right? It's being a believer, creating your own reality, and also like creating worlds. It's like pulling things from within you. For some of you, ancient knowledge, if you work with Akashic records, and Archangel Metatron is coming through right now. I work with multiple archangels, by the way. There's some of my guides. I think I work with over 10 now. They've all come to me at different points in my spiritual journey. But I'm also pagan, so like I work with gods and goddesses too, so you know, you never really know who's going to come through. Hecate was coming through a few readings back. And I'm a non-denominational channel, and I'm very open-minded, so I welcome every faith and creed. And I don't tolerate hate or bullies, so if you don't like that and you're no longer interested in this message, it's okay. Just assume you got what you needed and have a great day. Knight of Swords. Swift communication and action coming forward. Clearing the way, I just heard. Clearing the way. What is clearing the way, Spirit? The Knight of Pentacles. Well, that is counterintuitive. You got the quick knight with the slow knight. What? And then the Knight of Wands. Wow, we've got all but the Knight of Cups out here. We had another reading a few months ago, I want to say April or something, where we talked about how we had every knight on the table except the Knight of Cups, which is the one you would want for a love reading. And, you know, that might have been the first Divine Union reading I did. I know there was the King and Queen of Cups and the King and Queen of Wands, and possibly the Emperor and Empress. I can't remember if they came out yet or not. But I'm getting a vibe that that Divine Union Part 1 and 2 is part of this message. So you definitely check out the playlist if you feel called. All of my readings are put into shorter form messages, so you don't have to sit through a tarot quest. Just check out the shorter form, whatever calls to you, you know? And yeah, of course I love it when y'all like my videos because it helps circulate the content. It's a form of energetic support, and when you do that, I do pick up on your energy better because it's an equal give and take, you know what I mean? So those that contribute by, say, leaving a heart emoji in the comments, or liking the video, or whatever, participating in the live chats when we do premieres, your energy comes through stronger. And if you don't want that, well then, you know, just sit back in the quiet, in the dark. Appreciate the calm support either way. So, Yeah, okay, maybe that came out just to have me ramble on about that divine union. Excuse the plane one moment. We'll get back in a second. I'm gonna chime my bell in 3, 2, 1. How's everyone doing today? Oh, I'm doing okay. Oh boy. I live on a mountain, but it's like we still get the air traffic from time to time, especially during wildfire season. This has been one of the best years we've had out here, and I am so grateful. We were talking about gratitude earlier. Like, what are you grateful for? Just one thing. You know, maybe it was you got to eat your favorite food for a meal today. Maybe it was that you, for some of you, I'm hearing had a place to sleep last night. For some of you, you made a wise investment. For some of you, you got good news on your health. All these blessings that come into our lives, and we're so used to just speeding up and then slowing down and speeding up and slowing down. And I think that's what this night energy is about, is finding the temperance, finding the balance, knowing what parts of yourself you need to pull out at the moment to live a balanced, healthy life, right? And that sounds so boring, right? But we go from the mundane to the mystical here. That's my shop tagline. It's about balancing both, which the Five of Pentacles here is very much about that as well. Yeah, to overcome a lack mentality. Looks like you want to be read on some more. I feel like that's what these are. We're kind of detracting from the Empress slash Queen of Wands now. We're just going to let her chill off to the side, you know, let her do her empressy thing. And we're going to talk about this divine masculine. Perhaps we'll read on divine feminine in a moment. The difference between a masculine and a feminine, and again, it's not about gender, it's about energy. Masculine, active, feminine, receptive, right? And we all go through different phases in our life. But the difference between, I've talked about this before, a divine or a not divine is just the level of the journey you're on. If you've overcome many hard lessons in life and you've integrated your shadow and you've become in balance with yourself, you are divine. And if you're still working on that, that doesn't mean that you're less than. You're just as equal as the other person that could be divine. If anything, we should be looking at people who are in their divine energy as inspirational figures, not people to try to compete with, because that's the difference between coming from a place of hate or love. And it's not about whether you hate or love the person. It's about whether you hate or love yourself. And when you do hate yourself, you forgive yourself and you let it go. And when you love yourself, well, you get to live in more love. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Seems that someone has walked away from something that did not fulfill them emotionally. Who is this about, Spirit? 6 of Cups. For some of you, you had to walk away from family or old friends from the past. I'm sensing this is more on this masculine energy here. Possibly old friendships. Or you had to like integrate parts of your inner child in order to move forward and let go of the past. I talk about inner child healing occasionally. I'm an advocate, so I break stigmas and I share information about wellness. I have a disclaimer in the description box though, I'm not a medical or mental health professional. King of Cups. Wow. That's some powerful energy across the board here for both parties involved. So these are definitely divine, masculine, and feminine energies we are speaking on. Multiple people in the collective that are in this energy. Remember, there are over 8 billion people in the world, and the collective is every conscious being. I can't give you a statistic on the divine masculine and feminines of the world. That's just I just picked up that somebody wanted that. I don't have that. I'm sorry. Maybe you have a very analytical, curious mind. I don't have that information. I don't know if anybody does. Wow. Okay. Anyways. Interesting. So, King of Cups. I think you are a very loving person, or people, I should say, multiple people. You are, you want to give your cup of love, you want to nurture something, you want to deeply care. And a lot of people may have mistaken you as kind of cold in the past. 3 of Cups. I don't think we want to talk about that, Spirit. Let me see. Knight of Cups. We now have the full barrage of knights on the table. This is officially a quest, everyone. Are you ready? Alright, we're ready to go now. This is something to celebrate. You want to celebrate this feeling you have, this love that you want to offer whoever you are. You are very, I get the feeling that you might be a secret romantic, and the reason you've had to keep it secret is because people haven't valued you, unfortunately. Well, that's their loss, and it seems like whoever this divine feminine is your gain. Y'all could be each other's good karma. I still kind of want to know more about this Queen of Wands. We see where you're at, which is very cool. Is there any advice we can give this divine masculine spirit about this quest they are on? Any advice you want to give this divine masculine? Strength. Back to courage. There it is. Courage is the key. It's amazing. You can have all this fire and drive, but you can also burn yourself out. Right? And I see a lot of people tend to burn themselves out mentally, and then they have difficulty physically moving, you know. And it seems like this divine femme over here knows something about that with the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. I want to read into that for a second. We'll come back to you, okay? Alright, cool. Queen of Wands, tell us more about what you are learning in this rest period about your mind and your thoughts and your beliefs. 7 of Pentacles. Well, you have planted seeds on something that you are waiting for it to become prosperous. You're invested. You're also thinking about ways you have invested yourself before. For some of you, I'm getting a strong sense of physically investing in things, because again, Pentacles is tangible, earth energy. This card's also about patience. So possibly a struggle has been just resting and having patience, and especially with the Queen of Wands energy, having that fiery energy, usually being able to dictate things. You know what I mean? Like quick, fiery action. The Queen of Wands is also known as the Battle Queen, right? It's the one queen that'll go to fight for you. And not being able to act and having to sit in stillness might actually be a challenge here, and that's why they're stuck in their head. What else can you tell us about this, Spirit? The moon. They're definitely getting more comfortable with their subconscious. I feel like I'm reading more for this divine masculine than I am for the femme, because if you hadn't noticed, it's like I was speaking directly to you, divine masculine, but it seems like the Queen of Wands is more of a separate party here. Not to exclude anybody that identifies with a divine feminine. Going very deep into the hidden. They're also very psychic. So is the Emperor over here with the King of Cups. It's very psychic. You both are very feeling, psychic, intuitive people, I'm getting. I'm curious what this Queen of Wands, I feel like somebody wants to know what this Queen of Wands, how shall I phrase this? I feel like I have permission to read on this energy. I don't usually tap into other parties' energies. I usually tap into the people who are here. But I'm getting the go-ahead from my guides to tap into this energy, so I'm going to trust my intuition, just like the Moon card. This Empress is trusting her intuition through the process. So what else is this Queen of Wands Empress focusing on? The Queen of Swords, being discerning, using intelligence, making clear-cut decisions, having clarity, being strong, defending what is theirs, clearly communicating. What is this in regards to, Spirit? The King of Swords. Wow. For those of you that know tarot, I think you know where that went. Seems like this Empress is closing chapters with somebody they used to have something in common with. It's already done though, it's already cut out. There's distance, there's relief, there's clarity. Very mental energy. It's like just clearing and cleansing the past, I'm sensing. Focusing on creation, focusing on manifesting reality, yet being comfortable with the slow time. It's actually interesting, you both, excuse the plane 1 second, I apologize for things that are out of my control. I guess I don't apologize, whatever. Feeling some irritable energy all of a sudden. I feel like there's been like karmic energies off and on throughout this reading trying to interfere, but I put up really strong boundaries, so like we're not even going to focus on that. Just be aware that they're present. I mean, they're not present, but they're like trying to be, and they're not succeeding, except for a little interference with the plane every now and again. Cry me a river just came to mind. It's a great song. See, that's the Queen of Swords right there. Yeah, the Queen of Swords knows why they have to be so strong. But I was saying there seems like you both have something in common here where you're both learning to kind of slow down, dictate, but still pursue what makes you passionate. Even though you're doing it in separate ways, there's very much this commonality of being grounded and going with the flow, but taking action when appropriate. It seems like you both are very intuitively led, again with that watery psychic energy. I just Someone wants to know more about the King and Queen of Swords, about the past. You know, I don't want to go there, to be honest. I think we'll respect, because whoever this Empress is, it seems like she's worked very hard to create a safe place to heal. And anybody who's been through that knows that if you really care for somebody, you're not going to get them stuck up in their head, right? Though it's all of our own skill to be able to use discernment and keep our own thoughts pure, right? And it seems like that's what this Empress is doing. I don't think it's any of our business about their past, so we're going to skip that. Just like there was some things over here with this divine masculine that Spirit was showing me that I chose not to speak on. Okay, that's called discernment, right? It is a gift. You do have to hone it like any other skill. I'll see if there's anything else Spirit wants to say on this past that is being healed or is healed, and new structures. I'm hearing new mental structures have been built, whatever that means. There's that karmic energy again. Wow. So, Spirit, is there anything we can say in regards to this that is appropriate for the highest and greatest good of all? The Sun. Wow. First of all, keep your thoughts positive. And also, this person has found a way to be happy again. In this depiction, it's this radiant feminine figure. Kind of looks like the Queen of Wands with her hair down, right? And she's just, looks like she's adjusting the sun to shine on these 4 sunflowers just right. It's like she's spreading light everywhere she goes. She's very abundant, which we know the Empress card is the most abundant energy in the tarot. The most beautiful, nourishing, comfortable, divine, feminine energy. And yes, again, if you identify as a man, you can also be this energy. And if you are actually a divine masculine, you also are in balance with the divine feminine in yourself. That's what it means by unity with self. We had the 2 of Cups earlier. It seems like this is just going to be a love reading today, y'all, which there's nothing wrong with that. I may keep this message slightly shorter or not. We'll see. Thank you for hanging in. Again, feel free to show your support in the comments. If this resonates, I'd love to hear your story. If you subscribe, feel free to introduce yourself. Alright, so I'm going to switch my deck up real quick. Being called to the Cosmic Tarot. Usually I have everyone take a deep breath if you're capable of doing so. So if you'd like, take a deep breath real quick. 3, 2, 1, in. Out. Strength. I feel like that's, oh, Hangman, being at pause, being comfortable at pause, seeing the other perspective of another or situation, going into deep meditation. These are all ways that you have become stronger. We're back to the Emperor, divine masculine energy over here. I feel like I'm being pulled back to you, so we're going to follow that flow. Spirit was telling you that strength, courage is the key to your success. What success are we talking about? I just saw the Sun card. You want to match this happiness. It's a different deck, but I just saw the Sun card again in the shuffle. I just saw it again after, but I saw the Five of Cups and then the Emperor. My goodness. I haven't even pulled the cards out and they're already chatty. Okay. So you don't want to be stuck in regret and defeat and these emotions from the past. You want to find this happiness, and or you're learning how to be happy. The Wheel of Fortune. Tell me more about this Wheel of Fortune, Spirit. The Prince of Wands. One moment. The Seven of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups in reverse. It is, this is a new cycle, first of all. Also, you're matching your energy from earlier. You're really thinking about, like, dashing in. Prince of Wands is the same as the Knight of Wands, right? You're fighting for this person. Because you got the Queen of Wands again and the Prince of Wands, like the same cards from different decks representing both of your energies that both of you are in right now. So it's also, I'm picking up, this is a new karmic cycle, but if you go with the energy, if you go with your guidance, it's a positive karmic cycle, right? It can be good, bad, or in between. But I'm sensing strategy here. We had the Seven of Swords earlier, but that was in regards to people from the past. Perhaps you have integrated a form of strategy because of people you've dealt with in the past. And this hasn't made you feel very happy, lovable, nurtured with the Queen of Cups in reverse. So perhaps you're wanting to, like, rush in to either that, or you feel like you've let this person down somehow. You know, I never got clarity on this. I was going to ask, do you actually know this person in real life? Like, you've spoken to them on the phone or a text message, met them in person, exchanged emails, you know, 3D tangible things, right? Have you ever actually engaged with this person? The Star. Huh. I feel like this is somebody you watch online or in your life that you view as a star, as a very healing individual. This is somebody that that you feel like shines for your eyes only, I just heard. Yeah, you're definitely a secret romantic. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. The world would love more romance. Archangel Chamuel's coming through with that unconditional loving vibe, right? The more we unconditionally love ourselves, the more we can unconditionally love others. So that tells me that it's somebody that you are aware of, but are they aware of you? Let's get a little more clarity on this dynamic, huh? Two of Wands. It doesn't really answer my question, but it does tell me that they've been manifesting somebody like you. They've been looking for someone like you. They've already made choices and decisions on what kind of path they want to take. I'm not feeling like it's in the negative where they need to. I don't know. Let's get some clarity on that. Justice. They know what they deserve. They know where their heart is in the matter of what choice they want to make. Tell me more. King of Cups. Well, it seems like this person knows exactly who you are, or has been manifesting someone just like you. You both are a divine match. You are divine counterparts. Let that be confirmation. Only if you resonate with these energies, with the story, whether you are the DM or the DF. And again, this could be two divine masculines and two divine feminines, or just two divine beings, right? We'll say that for the non-binary folks, right? But I can't. Somebody wants to know, do they actually know who I am? I'm hearing that very loud and clear. Do they know who you are? I don't know. Should I give away that mystery? You could just let the lady rest in peace, you know? Ooh. Interesting. Queen of Swords, Five of Cups, and Ten of Wands. This is karmic energy that's trying to come in and block this message. But we're not going to read on them. I mean, it's pretty much just saying, yeah, for the divine masculine identifying person here, you definitely have a shadow side of the Queen of Swords in your energy who's either trying to create burdens for you or was a burden, and neither people were happy, and it wasn't very compatible with your energy. But this could be part of what you walked away from. Let's get back to the message of what I was talking about, though. We're gonna just disregard that energy and let it go and move forward, right? So what is the question here, Spirit? We're going to conclude this hopefully soon. I made this amazing meal the last couple days. Oh my goodness. It was absolutely delicious. It's dinner time, so I am hungry. Had like zucchini and chunky tomatoes with some grass-fed beef. Not a vegetarian. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but you know, we each have our own preferences. I eat meat, but I eat clean, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was really good. It was kind of like a chunky zucchini. Instead of doing pasta, I put in, what was it? Organic brown rice, I believe it was. I don't remember. It was some kind of wild rice. It was really great. What are you all having for dinner tonight? Whatever time of day it is. Eight of Wands. Well, somebody definitely wants to communicate something quickly. By all means, share your favorite foods in the comments. I don't care. Whatever. I was just, you know what that was? That was me transmuting the energy. That's one of my spiritual gifts. Instead of letting people who are bound and determined to suffer because of their own limiting beliefs, focus on ways you can feel happy. I mean, that's the key to matching this happiness. That's what this Empress is doing, is finding her shine again. It seems like you've done the same. You've very much been in the same energy. What is this? Tell me more about this this divine feminine and what she is aware of about. I really want to know. I don't usually go, but I really feel compelled to like talk on this more. Partially because I'm annoyed because the karmic tried to distract me, but you know, whatever. Tell me, does this Queen of Wands know of this person at least? We know that the Emperor is quite aware of her. And again, flip the gender however you want. But does this person, are they aware? The Tower. Well, if they weren't, they are now, or they're about to be very freaking aware of your presence, because this is a huge change. This is like high impact, sudden, wow, what the heck just happened? My world just changed. I'm sensing that they might be aware of you now, and it's shifting some things around in their world. Yeah, definitely. Some kind of transformation is happening. What else can you tell us about that spirit? The magician. Wow. They manifested this change. I'm not saying they intentionally manifested you, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they embraced it. Perhaps by sorting through their thoughts, they were able to embrace this change with confidence. Yeah, and it kind of seems like you each can teach each other something. I mean, that's one benefit of having a true divine counterpart is you're compatible. Even if you're different, you're compatible. You fit together in just the right way. You mirror each other when one is teetering and you can tell they're starting to like lose their footing. You're going to hold them by the hand, you're going to look them in the eyes, and you're going to say, "It's all right. I got you." And the other person being, in the same balance as you is going to say, "Thank you." And be like, "Oh, well, that was annoying." Moving forward, not get stuck on the stumble, but continue to find the footing, and y'all can walk arm in arm together. That's the ideal partnership, right? It's not about money or status or getting anything. It's about knowing that you can count on each other. But a tower moment, that can be really disruptive. I'd like to know more. I mean, we've got the magician here, so I mean, the Queen of Wands, the very witchy woman, we'll say. That's stereotype, right? In the best ways. I'm using positive connotations here, right? Um, I'm gonna stick with what I said that she manifested this change. I feel like she intended to create big change in her life. Tell me more about this tower spirit. The Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You both have an Ace of Pentacles to offer each other. I mean, that's assuming you come together. You still got to take action, right? But it seems like you want to, Divine Masculine. You both have a gift from Spirit, a tangible gift, and perhaps it's each other. I don't usually say that, but I feel like, I mean, we did get the Justice card. It's almost like you are each other's justice. Wow. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. My heart space just like fluttered and I got chills on my knees and my thighs. Wow. Someone just jumped for joy. Literally, like a fool, new beginning jumping for joy because you both also have the sun here. Four of Wands, Divine Union. I'm done. Y'all, Four of Wands. That's like like, celebrate this union. 1111 card. Like, oh my goodness. I just got full body chills. If you needed confirmation again, there it is. This is a divine union. So, it seems that the ball is in this Knight of Wands court. What are you going to do, Knight of Wands slash Emperor slash King of Cups, King of Wands? I think, yeah, this is definitely confirmation that this is linked to that first Divine Union reading I did last spring. Check it out in the playlist. I have a few throughout the last few months that popped up every now and again. So, yeah, happy hunting. I believe that a lot of people are going to find those messages very useful for possibly confirming your experience thus far. Because we had both the King and Queen of Cups and Wands in all those readings and this one. And it brings me back to the Temperance card, right? We were talking about Sagittarius energy, we were talking about Jupiter energy, which the Wheel of Fortune is also very much that. It's interesting. There is a lot of karmic justice happening here. And I feel like, divine masculine, you have the momentum. So I guess really what I want to find out is, what can Spirit tell you to help inform your next moves? Because you wouldn't be, I don't think you're worried about self-sabotage. You seem pretty confident, but it did say confidence is key earlier, right? What kind of advice can we give as far as what your next moves could be here? The Six of Cups. I mean, that's deep soul love. That's also a card of a family soulmate. That's nourishing a soulmate connection. Spirit's telling you to go for it. Whatever doubt you had in your mind, or whatever reason you had for not moving forward, with this whole fire and water energy, I sense you go between passionate, fiery action and slow, subdued, deep, savoring, like deep in the feels. And that can cause boiling water, right? That can cause things to boil over. Can also create a lot of really nice steam. Eight of Cups. Something from your past that you had to walk away from. We had the Six of Cups and Eight of Cups earlier, and it said that you had to walk away from family or friends in the past. Are you possibly worried that that's going to happen again? Because this isn't like anything from your past. I can tell you that 100%. This is your forever person. I can say that like 100% here. And that's only for people that this message actually resonates with, not people who are forcing it because it sounds good. No offense if you're doing that, but that's not using your discernment. That's hearing what you want to hear, okay? We've talked about divine timing, which the Wheel of Fortune card can also represent. We've talked about all kinds of other things, about balance and the law of attraction and magnetism, and how to get what you really want and be ethical about it, all right? Like, for example, we don't manifest other people, not specifically. That's called a love spell. Is there anything else we can say? I just saw the Prince of Cups, so that's the Knight of Cups again. Spirit is saying, give your cup a love. It's safe to love. It's safe to make your move. All right, so another thing I have coming through here is some advice on how you can make your move. Some of you are ready. You already know what you need to do. Maybe you just need confirmation. So Spirit, what guidance can we give? What other, and how they can give their cup of love? Let's just say that. You know, how they can be courageous and give their cup of love. The High Priestess. I mean, come on. Use your intuition. We were talking about this earlier. Like, also move quietly. Move in secret with this one. Yeah, especially with the karmic energies in both y'all's energies. And you know, when you get to a certain spiritual status of being a divine being in that way that we were just talking about earlier, about what makes a divine being, you're going to have a lot of envious, jealous, evil eye in the energy regardless. And it's like, you don't get to the status of being able to handle that without first going through it, right? So don't let anybody affect your intuition. And I watched a shorter video the other day. I added it to the channel's public community spotlight playlist. It was talking about not making the safe choice. You might want to check out that video. It's by another reader. I spotlight other readers, astrologers, whatnot in that playlist because I'm all about community support and networking, not competing and going it alone. Even though I am an introvert and I live on a mountain, I believe in community, you know? So, yeah, that's for somebody. And when we say don't go for the safe option, we're not saying go for somebody who's caused you harm in the past. That's not at all what that means. Again, watch that reader's video. It's about what does your heart initially feel? And if it's the bigger risk because it's the most unknown, but you can't shake it, then it's for you. That's how you know you've met the one. 'Cause you can't shake it, and it's not, you know, people may reason and go through all this stuff, and it'll force you to grow, because it's going to force you to confront your shadow. It's going to make you face your doubts. It's going to make you question, am I delusional? Is this person, you know, why do I care about them so much? You know, those kinds of energies. It's like, no, silly, no one's putting a love spell on you. You're just in love. It does exist. Not everybody is fortunate enough to find true love. But you have to believe that you are worthy of that love. Again, having courage. Sometimes we don't feel worthy of things when we go after them, but taking the chance, doing the scary thing, the quote unquote unsafe thing, whatever truly you feel in your heart is right for you. Do that all the time in our lives if we are living a more open minded life, right? You do that with work, with projects, with certain friendships, with putting yourself out there, maybe going to a local show, or maybe you like to do karaoke, I'm sensing for some of you. Just getting out and allowing yourself to be seen is a risk, is a chance, right? Especially if you're somebody like me who's introverted. But, you know, there over here earlier in the reading, we had that 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Like, it gives me the impression that you have known about this person for a while, and perhaps you didn't give them a chance initially, or you convinced yourself out of it, or you allowed other people's opinions to change your mind, but you haven't been able to shake it. So it's like, you know, the value of it. We had the 10 of Pentacles after that to confirm that. You know it now. That's why you were in the 5 of Cups, because maybe you convinced yourself that you lost something that never even started. But you forget, by not taking action, you guarantee that. Perhaps you reasoned with yourself and convinced yourself that if you move in quickly, you're acting just like a past version of yourself. But you're not, because you're also the King of Wands here. You've matured. You know when to act. We talked about that. All knights are here. The quest is ready at your command. You've also got divine support that is protecting this, that is protecting you. This level of union is going to be divinely protected, and I think you know that. So the only one who's not making it your true happily ever after is you. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in thinking about how other people are going to receive us, we forget, wait, how am I going to receive them? What comes after the initial, hi, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like, what comes after the potential friendship? Did you ever consider, you know, not how this person is going to perceive you, but how they could possibly be totally open to the idea of you? You know? We didn't get clarity on whether this person, I think they found out about you, hence the Tower. I'd like to get a little more clarity. I hope that helped you come to some decisions. You know, if you don't put so much pressure on yourself and you just go for it, and not go for it to get something, but go for it to offer something, you know, it doesn't have to be. For some of you, I get the feeling that you're a perfectionist and you want to create this grand plan, and like you don't want to come in until everything is right. I mean, you are the emperor, so I understand that. You're a very take charge person, and you've had to learn through life how to be more strategic, how to make sure it's a sure thing. I feel like you've had a lot of confirmation that this is a sure thing. If nothing else, this reading alone confirmed it like 4 or 5 times. If you can't overcome and have courage, you break your own heart. But if you have the courage to try and be willing to embrace the unknown, embrace the change, and not put so much expectation on it and just put more hope into it, you might be surprised by the outcome. And you know, the reality is if for some reason, and that I'm not sensing this at all, this is just a hypothetical, because I feel like some of you are really scared, hence needing the courage, right? And I feel like it's because of things that have happened to you in the past. I get it. I do. I understand that. It's going to be okay, all right? You're going to be okay. Whatever you do, you're going to be okay. And there's this whole misconception that if you are this divine being, that you don't have feelings and you don't have vulnerabilities or soft spots. No, this kind of love is the kind of love where you can show those soft spots, but you have to be willing to show them. Because this person is a match to you. They're going to nurture and love you. And what I was going to say is that if by some slim chance that they just weren't ready for this, or they themselves didn't see the blessing for whatever, you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but that would be a karmic consequence, but that doesn't mean that's going to happen, so don't go there and create more blocks for yourself. But what I'm saying is that perhaps the positive karmic consequence of going for that, despite and risking that you may not be seen or received, is choosing to embrace what you are passionate about, what you know in your heart to be true. If you feel it that strongly from your heart space, not your sacral, though I'm sure that's pinging too if you know who this person is. You both are fiery energies. And deep water signs, I mean, come on now. That's going to be lit. I think you need to take a deep breath and enjoy the process, and also remember that this person has a right to their free will, and you can't control that. So perhaps you need to loosen the reins and just ride that horse bareback all the way till you get there and say, hey, I'd like to have a cup of coffee with you. What are you doing this weekend? You know, you don't have to do this huge thing. And it's less risk, but you're also taking a huge risk by deciding to go for it. But the question is it more of a risk to fight for something like this, or to risk never receiving it all because you didn't believe? And that, again, it doesn't guarantee that they will receive you. But again, if this person for some reason wasn't ready for you, first of all, you probably sense it, but I get that you are not sensing that. And I get that you are getting the green light from spirit for this because you both are very intuitive. Tell me more about this high priestess. It's interesting. I put the high priestess on the empress pile even though we pulled it for you. The Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, well, y'all are both matching as far as Queen of Pentacles, as far as being comfortable, as far as being stable, as far as wanting long-lasting commitment and nurturing and having a home of your own and comforts in life and enjoying the slower way of life together and creating something sustainable. This person wants someone like you And I feel like I'm having to convince you, and it's like we're just gonna end up on a loop here. So I'm gonna call back from that. I really do hope that gave you the answers you're looking for. Again, if this was a slight chance that this person didn't receive you for whatever reason, you would be so ready for the next person because you already faced your fear. You wouldn't re experience this fear. But I want to remind you that in this reading, we had it come up that this is both y'all's karmic justice. I hate to, I don't ever say this, but this feels fated. Like, this feels, this is divine. This is rare. And if two rare souls like this have a chance at coming together, can you imagine the impact that's going to have? Don't think about the haters. Don't think about the people who are going to be jealous. Think about the people it's going to inspire. For other people to see this love exist, and even maybe one day you'll be telling your love story to your descendants. I mean, 10 of Pentacles represents that generational wealth, and that can also be lineage, that can be storytelling. Like, it could be a story for the ages of your love. And I just got chills. So take a chance. You know, everyone, I think on that note we're going to conclude this reading. Thank you everyone for being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, checking out the playlist. If you donate, I appreciate it. It goes back into the channel. And yeah, I wish you all well, and I thank you. This is Ellie, signing off. Bye.